So what fans see the most is the big shows, the WWE shows, the TNA Impact Wrestling shows, and that's what, they're exposed to the most. And the product of the Divas division, or the women's division, if you will, has changed a lot over the course of your career alone, and it's gotten mixed responses. So I'm sure you probably keep up with that. What do you think about what the WWE is, producing talent-wise and storyline-wise, because it's what fans will see the most?
I don't think that they do a good job at all, keeping the women's division fresh. I do think they're doing more than they used to. In all honesty, I think TNA has done the best job in putting women in the spotlight and showing that they do belong there and that women do belong on television. It is something people want to see. And I don't think that WWE does a good job, promoting their women. I mean, yeah, they're like the divas, and this, that, and the other, but as far as showing them as the women who, who are the most seen women in the world to show the world pro wrestling, it's not a good example, in my opinion. If you want to see good women's wrestling on mainstream TV, I say go to TNA.
So you were a part of a really famous tag team, and I made sure that I would bring up this tag team because I was a huge fan of this tag team, Team Blondage with Chrissy Vane, now known as Kristen Estara, and the then retired Lollipop. Big, huge tag team in the independent scene. What was it like for you to be a part of a faction? Because factions in the mainstream and even, some would say in the independent scene weren't really popular at that time. So what was it like for you?
I got to tell you, I feel like I could not be more proud of anything else that I've done in wrestling. Other than Team Blondage, me and Chrissy Vane, come from the same area. She started a few years after me. I really liked her. We clicked. I took her under my wing, and basically we wrestled each other all around the Carolinas, the Mid-Atlantic area. And then, we developed Team Blondage, and it just worked. Like, we didn't even know where we were going with it for a minute, but, we saw that it was good. We had chemistry. And I do feel like we left, our mark. And I think, we made an influence on women's tag team wrestling. And I really could not be more proud of anything else I've done other than Team Blondage. And I loved having Lollipop in, for the second version when Chrissy got signed with WWE because we had amazing chemistry as well. And I liked that there was two versions of it because I think that they were completely different. And, Chrissy brought her, vibe to the first one, and Lollipop brought her vibe to the second one. And honestly, like I would love to keep doing that forever, but at the same time, you have to grow and you have to, see what else is out there. And I'm glad I did because that's something I can look back on and smile and be very proud of. But, so is what I'm doing now. I think, you just have to say, oh, that was like really fun, but now it's time to move on,
Speaking of moving on, you recently launched your own wrestling company known as Arenatix. It has grown really, really fast, and it's had big names on its shows, and it has big names on its roster. So what inspired you to kind of create your own organization? Because maintaining that isn't always easy. Some wrestlers try it, and then they try and fail and then put it to rest, and some people are successful. But what was your inspiration?
I always knew that I wanted to do something like this, and I think, a couple of years ago I just decided, this is the time. Like, I was slowing down wrestling as much on the road by choice, because you can get really, I had been at it for 10 years hardcore, and I just wanted to, chill for a minute. So I took a year off, and just did, some CWF shows, which was, where my main base where I was from, the Wrestling Federation I'm glad to say that I'm from. And I got together with that promoter, and, High Spots, is involved with Arenatix as well. I'm very grateful for their support and help. And we just all got together, and I told him exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to create a women's wrestling organization that focused on the old school vibe, and I didn't feel like anyone was, doing that at the moment, and I know it has a fan base. And, I'm not saying like old school, but I like the vibe. I want to bring it back, how the Mid-Atlantic area should be represented as far as, women's wrestling. We are touring. Thanks to High Spots, we're able to tour. So I'm very grateful for that. And it is hard, and it's frustrating. And, I'm not like pushing one DVD after another out, crunched together, trying to overwhelm people, because we have yet to film like an entire women's show at one time. I really didn't want to do it like that. I wanted to film like a couple of women's matches at a time, and, put together a compilation DVD and make like the all women's wrestling shows like a really big deal, and, have a convention based around it. And I don't know, I just want to do things a little bit differently. And they were like, we think you're onto something here. And sorry if I'm shaking, but I'm walking around. And, we just kind of put our heads together and came up with Arenatix. And, it is growing, and we are going to do more. And we know we're doing it a little bit here and there. But, we think that we don't have to put a lot of stuff out right here as soon as, we debut. We kind of like to stretch it out and, travel a little bit. And we're actually going to be putting the DVD together, Volume 2, in August, and we're going to debut it at KNS WrestleFest. So Volume 2 will be available. The DVD release will be at KNS WrestleFest. That DVD will see Chrissy Ritchie, TNA's Cookie, Angel Orsini, Jazz, are just a few of the people on the DVD. Sarah Del Rey. This DVD will be good. I have no doubt. Ooh, just fell in a hole. No doubt. Wish you could have seen that. But, yeah, that was the other thing I wanted to touch on, was the DVD release in August. Yay!
Sounds like a fantastic release. And going back to Arenatix a little bit, you said in another interview that, when you look at a performer to join your company, you don't have any biases against looks or weight or, style. So what do you look for in a Arenatix athlete? What makes them a part of your company? Why do you invite who you have invited?
I think that, when you see my main group of girls, which consists of, Angel Orsini, Sassy Steffi, Jessica Havoc, Cookie, Jazz, definitely. They're women who want to be there, and they're women who want to put on a good show, and they're women who want to be part of a good product and keep good women's wrestling going. And I think that that's mainly what I look for. And all of them bend over backwards and do everything they can and everything, that I ask them to help me out with, and even more each time, I call on them, for an appearance or a show. And, that's what I look for, is girls who, will just go that extra mile, just to make, for a good product.
Fantastic. It sounds like a very unique company. Before we get to wrapping things up and how fans can contact you, there are a few questions I ask every interviewee that I find really unique, so I'm going to get to asking those. They're very individualized, which is what I love about them. If you could sum up your wrestling experience as far as your career and everything you've done and everything you've been through in just one word, what would that one word be?
Amazing.
If you could train or work a match with any wrestler right now, who would it be?
Randy Orton.
Yes or no? Would you encourage a female to break into this industry? Yes or no answer?
Absolutely, yes.
So, finally wrapping up, by the way, I've had such a great time conducting this interview. It's truly an honor. And
thank you.
How can fans stay in touch with you and stay in touch with Arenatix and all of your schedule, because you are a very busy person?
Arenatix.com is our website. That has all of our appearance information and all of, the latest news. I run the Arenatix Facebook, so you can always contact me at facebook.com/Arenatix. And there is an Arenatix Twitter. It's at the Arenatix. And my personal Twitter is at AmberNeil1. And I would say Twitter is the fastest way you can contact me, because I'm a Twitterholic. And my personal website as well, amberneil.net.
Well, Twitter is popular these days. So, again, thanks again to everyone who's been listening to this interview. It's been great. It's gone great. I hope that everyone got something out of this interview that's very unique. And, Amber, again, thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview with me, and good luck with your shows, really.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I will be heading to Cali in 2 days. I'll be wrestling for BTW Wrestling Friday and Vendetta Pro Wrestling Saturday. So if you're in the area, come by there and see me. And thank you for having me, Greg. I'm going to go back inside now.
You're quite welcome. For more exclusive content, be sure to visit www.wrestling-divaz, and that's divas with a Z, DIVAZ, webs.com, and I'm also running the Twitter for the website, twitter.com/wrestling-divaz, again, always with a Z. So I'd like to thank everyone one more time for tuning in, and be sure to visit the website and visit Twitter for more exclusive content and updates.